everyone, welcome to Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. I'm Linda, and today I'm out in the garden. It is 30 degrees outside. I just came out here to check on these chickens, y'all. I am getting back inside as soon as I can. But I want to bring you all with me and let you all see the chickens and see what they're looking like and how they are enjoying this weather right now. I also have on a mic today, y'all. So y'all let me know what y'all think about the mic. I talk loud most of the time, but sometimes I notice in some of my videos where I get in certain areas and you cannot hear me that good. So I wanted to go ahead and get this mic. So I'm going to have to try to tone it down some, hopefully, because the last time I tried to use the mic, I ended up having a video that was a silent video, and I was not happy with that at all, and that is why I had not attempted to use that mic again. But I decided to go ahead, try to freshen myself up on the mic, because it's really simple. I was like, Linda, really? You didn't? I decided to go ahead, bring the mic back out, and try it again because I want you all to be able to hear me really good. Some sort of precipitation has already started to fall. It is 30 degrees right now, and I think we're getting some snow flurries right now. So I just wanted to check on the chickens. I don't feel that bad right now because I am layered. I am so layered, y'all. I was looking for this, and it took me a minute to remember where I had put it at. And so it is a good cover. I got it off Amazon, and it covers your head. And that is one thing we want to make sure is warm. We want to make sure that our head is warm. So then I have the cap on top of it. And then I also have a band underneath that is covering my head. So it's you know, you don't want to pass out from being too hot. You don't want to get too hot because you don't want to sweat, but you want to make sure that you're layered so that you are protecting yourself. And so I am layered. The only thing that's not really protected are my hands, and that is because I just put these little gloves on, and they're probably gonna make my hands cold after a while. But by that time, I'll be back inside, so it's not gonna bother me. But this helps a lot. It is very warm because I don't like the cold air going inside my mouth and breathing it in inside my nose. And I just wanted to see what these chickens are doing. I basically wanted to see what my chickens were doing. And my sons came out and they were telling me what they were up to. And I just had to come out and see them. So that is where we are. We're going to just take a look at the chickens, and everything else is looking like it would be expected to look. Everything's looking pretty droopy out here. A lot of things were covered, but the wind has been blowing so hard that it has blown a lot of the coverings off. Y'all, at this point, I don't advise going out in 30s and below trying to cover up anything. Plant some more seeds, drop some more seeds, and that is what I did. And I showed you on my last video where I did drop some more seeds, and I'll be getting more seeds dropped so that in case when you lose something, you'll be able to replace it, because these are the times that you do not want to not have any food growing somewhere. I still have hydroponics food growing. Um, it's mainly just some herbs, but y'all, we're going to be using some of our herbs today. Today, we're going to be making some Jamaican Sorrel Kombucha. So I am excited about that. And we're going to go ahead and check these chickens out, and then we get back inside where it's warm. As usual, they're standing at the door waiting to get out, but they will not be getting out today because it is just really cold outside. And as I said, there's some snow flurries already falling, so I don't want to have to come back out and round them up this evening. I just want them to be able to get out and enjoy themselves, and they're going to be just inside of their chicken run, and they can dig and scratch in here, and I will grab them up a handful of vegetation from the garden and give them some vegetables so that they can enjoy those. And especially since some of it is not going to be able to survive, some of it I see that is sticking out, I'm just going to bring it and let them have it. And the other chicks, they have two areas because we have 14 chickens over here. And so they have two areas that they can be in. And so they've got a lot of room over here, and they are happy over here today, scratching and digging in their chicken run. And I showed you in the previous video how much space they have to roam around. And so I'm just happy with the way that the chickens are doing right now. Yesterday, Caleb came out, and there was a gray cat out here. And I've seen a cat in the area before, and the cat was inside of the chicken run, but the chickens were inside. So we just have to keep an eye out during the day, because these sometimes these some of these animals just can climb so good, and it's just almost impossible to keep some of them out. My sons are working their strategy to figure out what is our next move and getting this chicken coop more safe for our chicks. And y'all, they really want to get out. Look at them. They're right here in front of the door. They want to get out so bad, but they're not going to be able to get out today. And it's just because of the weather. It's going to be bad. It's going to be cold. And I don't want them to, I don't want them roaming around, especially with the little cat in the area, a little hungry cat. If he would come around, I might would give him some food, and he could probably, you know, be a barn cat, although we don't even have a barn. But he could be out here, and I would feed him, but he's a scary cat. Every time we try to get close to him, he runs away. So we'll see how that turns out. We're gonna keep an eye on him and hope that he's not a violent cat. But he's just in here trying to eat some of the chicken feed and not my chickens. But I am going to grab up some greens and I'm going to give it to the chickens. Okay, so I was able to round up a lot of green vegetables for them, and I'm going to go ahead and put it inside of the chicken run so that they can go ahead and start eating on this, and then we're going to go inside and make this kombucha. First thing I want to do is get my bottles washed up, and the bottles have lids to them. I purchased these off Amazon, and there were 20 in a case. I will put them in the description box in case anyone's interested in getting some of these jars. Okay, so I bought a couple of cups of water to a boil on top of the stove. And now I'm going to add some Jamaican Sorrel flowers to my tea bags. And I'm going to use 2 bags. And I'm going to be putting a half a cup of leaves into these 2 bags. About a half a cup total. I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat off and remove my pot. Because I do not want this boiling while I am steeping my Jamaican sorrel. So that is one of my bags. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in and let it start to steep. And I'm going to fill my other bag. Now you could do this the other way. You could, if you didn't want to use the bags, you could just pour this Jamaican sorrel into the pot and then strain it. I find it easier for me to do it this way. Okay, and I'm going to have both of these bags in here, and you can see that the water is already beginning to turn burgundy. I'm just going to let these steep for a few minutes, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to remove the bags and add 1 cup of sugar. Okay, now that our bags have been steeping for about 15 minutes, it did not take long for them to produce a real rich colored tea. And I'm going to remove my bags. I'm just going to put them in this bowl. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar to this liquid while it's still hot. And that's going to help my sugar to dissolve quickly. I'm going to give it a stir until my sugar is dissolved. And that sugar will dissolve quickly when your liquid is still hot. Okay, so you can see that there are no more sugar granules in here. And now what I'm going to do is add this hot liquid to a gallon pitcher of cold water. You want to use purified or well water if you live in the city and you have water that may be chlorinated. You want to get some purified water. And so now that this is at a nice temperature, I can go ahead and add this to my pitcher because it is cool enough since that water was very cold. It came right out of the faucet. I'm going to give it a taste just to make sure that it is at a nice temperature. You can't measure to make sure that it is not too hot. It is at a good temperature. It is cool and it's delicious already before it has even fermented. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it into my gallon. When you are making a fresh batch of kombucha, you're going to need to add some kombucha that has already been fermented. I have some kombucha right here that I have already fermented, and I'm just going to put a cup of it into my gallon jar. And now I'm going to add my fresh Jamaican Sorrel tea to that kombucha. What I have to do now is to add a SCOBY. And I have a SCOBY that I have from a previous batch of this Jamaican Sorrel Kombucha that I already made. And I am going to take my SCOBY and I'm going to put it into this new batch of Jamaican Sorrel Kombucha. And it does not matter if your SCOBY floats or if it sinks, as long as you get that SCOBY in there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this fresh kombucha with a coffee filter. And it is ready to go into my pantry. And I am going to strain this kombucha that I have fermented. This one already has been fermented. And I'm going to strain it and pour it up into my jars. So first I want to give my kombucha a stir. And I have a fresh brew bag that I have put into my gallon pitcher. And I'm going to go ahead and pour my brewed kombucha in. This bag is going to help me to strain out any particles that may have come off of my SCOBY and keep it from getting into my finished product. And so remember, when you're making the Jamaican Sorrel, everything will be turning burgundy. And that means even your SCOBY will be burgundy. Okay, so now I'm just going to pour it into my jars. And you can see it has a nice fizz on top. You can do this Jamaican Sorrel as a second ferment, meaning that instead of putting your Jamaican Sorrel in and making your tea this way, you could just make your kombucha the regular way that you do it and then add the Jamaican Sorrel at the end of the ferment when you're ready to, after you put it in the jar. You could add Jamaican Sorrel in here, but I chose to do it this way. So I get this full flavor, and I won't have to worry about having to strain my Jamaican Sorrel after it's already got into my jars. Now I did make some more kombucha, and I made it with the regular tea, and I have some blueberries in it, and that is my favorite so far. This is my first brewed batch of this kombucha made with the Jamaican Sorrel, so we'll see how this turns out and how well I like it. So this Jamaican Sorrel is ready. It does not have to go in for a second ferment. It is ready now that I have poured it up into the jars. I can go ahead and place it into the refrigerator to store. So I'm going to have to get some more jars, but I want to go ahead and give this a taste. Has a nice fizz and a delicious flavor. It might be giving that blueberry kombucha a run for its money, 'cause I like this. So I hope that y'all have enjoyed this video, and that you'll give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.